The year was I want to say 92, when a album came out called what's it called? Running Off at the Mouth. Is that right? Did I say that right?
I think so.
You don't remember?
Run over at the mouth, yeah.
Yeah. The artist was named Twister.
Tongue twister.
At that time, you know him as Twister. We knew him as Tongue Twister.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take you before then, because there were some building blocks that were being laid in this business that made it possible for a lot of the people, even the young man we just heard momentarily, Drake, anybody, Kendrick Lamar, TDE, anybody you want to name that's being successful today. They did it with a blueprint, how to promote, how to market, how to present yourself as an artist, yourself as a team, yourself as a movement, yourself as a lifestyle. When Sway and King Tech were independent artists in the Bay, we had a company called All City Productions. And with that company, we put out a lot of music, groups called New Craze, group called Full Resistance, Sway and Tech. At that time, we were Flynamic Force. And we did things independently, and we did it through independent distributors, City Hall Distribution, CRD, California Record Distribution, so on and so forth. One of the songs we put out caught the attention of Giant Records, which was owned by Irving Azoff, a man by the name of Wendell Green, who did A&R. Charlie Minor was there at that time, rest in peace. Caught the attention of a song we had called Follow For Now. And from that, we were able to take that independent label and sign. I wasn't expecting that, but that's pretty good. And sign into a major label deal with Giant Warner Brothers that was being ran by Irving Azoff. At that same time, we start to understand the back end of the business, you know, how money was being spent, how budgets were being formed, whether it was a radio budget, whether it was a marketing budget, promotion budget. And at that time, you had video budgets, and you had people who actually promoted your videos for you and helped spread it the same way people promote your records. One of those companies that we learned that was responsible for circulating our video was SRC, which was owned by this man that's sitting with us right now, who also owned Loud Records. And from that, I remember stepping into his office, and I really didn't understand what the game really was, but I pretended like I did. Because we were young, and we were vibrant, and we were trying to learn it. And when we went in that office and saw all the different people that they were working with, we said, this is where hip-hop lives. This is where this culture is being protected, and it's being protected and distributed by people who are fully immersed in it and truly understanding it. I learned so much from the way they moved around. We worked hand in hand at that time. We started working at KMEL Radio as well. So the majority of artists that we would play on our show to help shape and mold what the Wake Up Show ultimately came from this one hub, where back in the day they had artists like the Alcoholics out of L.A. They had artists like the Wu-Tang Clan. They had artists like Mobb Deep. They had artists like Bone Thugs and Harmony. They had artists like M.O.P. All these artists are the artists that help shape and mold what it is we do when we were trying to get the word out that hip-hop ain't just about mainstream artists. It's about culture and lifestyle. Every time I see this man, this is one of my oldest friends in the music business, and every time I see him, I'm excited to see him. We bump into each other when we're on the plane. We sit around and have 5-hour conversations. I don't even watch the movies have to be, because you know if I'm sitting next to him, I'm sitting first class. That's the only way you're going to bump into him. And hey, man, hey, man, if you sit next to him, you sit in first class. You know, I want to welcome him. I remember he introduced me to his father early on in my career, Jules Rifkind, at the Impact Music Conference somewhere in New Jersey. Atlantic City. And I remember he made a point to say, man, Sway, you gotta meet my father. Let me introduce you to my father. He didn't realize at that point. I said, man, this dude really fucks with us. It ain't about the business. And his father's a very important person, you know. And I never forget that he did that. 25 years later, we are celebrating the anniversary of this monumental, most influential, impactful. We talk about Bad Boy Records. We talk about Def Jam Records, as we should. We talk about Death Row. We talk about TDE. Yeah. We talk about Rockefeller, Cash Money, Young Money. We talk about all these different record companies, but you cannot have that conversation if you do not mention Loud Records. Otherwise, your conversation is bogus. Steve Rifkind is here. Steve Rifkind is here, ladies and gentlemen. He's here.
Wow.
He's here.
Wow.
I had to put that in perspective, bro.
That's really
I had to. You probably don't even realize how much, because we're friends. But these things, certain things in my life, I always remember, and I try to function through my career in that same way. Welcome to Sway in the Morning, Steve Rifkind.
Thank you.
How you been? 25 years, man.
It's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
It's nuts.
What was the plan? Like when you first started, what's the first day you said, I want to create something called Loud Records, and I'm calling it Loud. Why?
So, I had the marketing company.
Yes.
Right? So from 1986 to 2000, when I sold Loud to Sony, we pretty much promoted every hip-hop record.
Yes.
So I come into New York for my cousin's wedding, and I run into an attorney. No, I run into an agent, a guy by the name of Jerry Aid. He says, why don't you have your own label? And I'm like, why? He goes, well, let me set you up with this lawyer, and just take a meeting. You have nothing to lose. So I'm like, all right. And the lawyer ended up being my dad's lawyer. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm making around, little six figures, but, low six figures. I'm playing ball, from 3 to 5 o'clock, go back, shower, go back to the office and send out my reports. I was like, what do I'm feeling good. And then my dad calls me. He goes, meet me at the house. Now, those days I was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck did I do now? He's calling me in. And he goes, I got to explain to you the difference between having an asset business and a service business.
Okay.
He goes, you're doing well, but you could lose an account tomorrow and you're out. He goes, an asset business, you earn money while you're sleeping. So it's probably one of the first times, business-wise, that I agreed with him.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, I get it. So I called the attorney. I'm like, make a deal. Irving is the first guy.
Irving Azon?
Yeah, that we go to. Charlie, I go back with Charlie since, Charlie used to work for my dad at ABC Records. So I've known Charlie since I'm 7 years old. And Wendell used to work for me at Delicious Vinyl.
Wendell Green.
Yeah. I hired him at Delicious Vinyl as a promotion man, not even as an A&R guy. So Irving's company is called Giant
Records.
And me and Fade are sitting, we had an office as big as this table right here and a fake bathroom right there that we also used as an office.
Yeah, Fade Duvernay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, what goes with Giant, Fade? And he goes, Loud. Hank Shockley had a label called Soul.
Yeah.
And the label, Sound of Urban Listeners. And then Fade says, all right, we're going to call this Listeners of Urban Dialect. And Loud will go along with Giant.
And that's how it happened.
Yeah. But we didn't end up going with Giant, though. We ended up going with BMG.
Wow. And then what was the first artist you signed?
Twister.
Mr. Tongue Twister, who at that time was in the Guinness Book of World Records for the...
No, we put him in there.
Yeah,
we put him in. We flew the guy in from London with the Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow.
And was Yo MTV.
Yeah.
And he did it live. And they timed it.
Let's hear a little bit of that Twister real quick.
Let the capital tongue tissue, it's the Mr. Tongue Twister. Pumping it with my lyrical style. On my tongue, I be flinging up funky pile. Lyrical rhymes are taking them up, and I'm out of me blowing them volume. Kicking the fuck of his arm, lyrical stepping on my controller.
Yeah, there it is, man. Steve Rifkind is here. We celebrate. We're going to walk you up. We're going to walk him up the ladder, ladies and gentlemen. We about to walk him up.
Love it.
After Tongue Twister, Mr. Tongue Twister, who did you sign next?
Signed a group called Madcap.
Madcap. Speak on Madcap.
They were dope. They were these street kids from Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
Guy by the name of James Broadway was a producer, but nothing. I liked it,
Yeah.
but nothing ever really happened with them. They, always found out, getting into trouble somehow, some way. But one of the kids in the group ended up becoming a big writer, like movie writer. So they're cool. I talked to Coke, who's the writer. Who.
Coke was ill too, man.
Yeah.
Coke was dope, man.
Stubborn as hell, though.
Yeah, but he was always different.
Coke was dope.
Yeah, Coke was dope. Yeah, you like that, Axel. We're gonna get to you soon too.
Oh hell no, I got the flow of a rap pro. Cause Coke is all in like solo in an afro. Foes I subtract, well bolos to be exact. My corny quintet wrecks the musical format.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: at this time, when you look at the music business today, in comparison, we'll get to your new artist, who we think is incredible. But you didn't have all the outlets, the resources to release music. You didn't have the Spotify's or the Tidals or the Apple Musics or the Sirius XMs.
Shit, there was no iTunes. There was nothing.
There was talk about what it was like. It was like a desert.
There wasn't even cell phones. If there were cell phones, it was just the one that you would have to put on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of driving and a lot of flying.
A lot of driving, a lot of flying. Loud was notorious, too, for hiring the best street teams and having the best street tools, whether it was sniping, or putting, what do you call those things you used to put on the ground and spray paint? The
stencils.
The stencils, flyers. How did word of mouth, how did you perfect the art of putting the word out about various artists?
Besides you guys, they're really, Hot 97 wasn't Hot 97. Hot 97 was a dance station.
Mm-hmm.
So in New York, you had what? KISS, you had BLS, KTU was also a dance station at the time. So, but you guys were like the first real hip hop station.
Mm-hmm.
So besides you guys, how are these records going to get exposed?
Yeah. I just needed him to say that.
To validate.
Go ahead. Go for it.
So we just took kids who you didn't have to have any experience. You just had to have passion and know your city. And then we directed them where to go. I might not know the local newspaper, but I'm like, all right, find the local newspaper. Let's get a review in here. Who's what's the biggest club? Go in there, send us a receipt, and you'll be reimbursed. And make sure you get the record played.
And we're talking 89, 90, 91. You weren't hearing rap. Like, you turn on any radio station across the country, you could hear rap all times of the day.
No, you were hearing Karen White.
Yeah, that's all you were hearing. So what we were doing at KMEL, really, you had the K-Days, though.
Yeah, K-Day. But don't forget, K-Day signal, once you came down the hill, you couldn't get it.
Yeah, it was AM.
Yeah.
So KMEL was really officially
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah, the first real mainstream P1 radio station that really starts servicing hip-hop. So a lot of the artists were being able to be heard because King Tech and I were programming with Keith Naffley and those guys, the hip-hop music, Alex Mejia, all these different guys in different day parts, and showing them how you can make a Public Enemy record or a Tribe Called Quest record or Wu-Tang Clan record.
But remember, we even brought Pac to you first.
That's right.
For your Christmas party.
That's right. You remember that?
Axel woke up.
Axel woke up right there. Axel was falling asleep till that happened. Whoa!
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was a Christmas gift, And Pac used to come and hang out at the station and bring music early. We would hear all the music early, and he'd ask Tech, "Hey man, what do you think it is?" And Tech could go through the music. Nah. Okay, this is cool.
You were the first one to jump on Brenda's Got a Baby.
True. Let's talk about Wu-Tang Clan. How did you discover Wu-Tang Clan?
Through our Detroit street team guy, a guy by the name of Jason Staten, who was a college radio in Flint, Michigan. Sent the record over to Trevor Williams, who was my college radio guy in the LA office.
Yeah.
And we were at BMG. We just transferred from Zoo, to RCA, and I came into New York for my 31st birthday. And RZA then was known as Prince Rakeem.
Yeah.
And
GZA was known
as Genius. Comes up. I've been trying to reach him. He didn't have an answering machine. Nothing. I've been trying to reach him since the beginning of the year. My birthday is March 2nd. And he shows up on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually having an album release party for Madcap.
Mm-hmm.
And E. Swift from the Alcoholics is with me. And I'm in an office that's could only really fit 2 people.
Yeah.
And RZA comes in, he goes, the guys are downstairs. So I don't know if there were 2 guys, 9 guys, and 9 guys come up. And this is when there was vinyl. Put the record on. They start performing to the record.
So what's up, man? Cool.
Some guy comes running through the door and says, "That's that shit." Comes running back out. I never see the to this day. I haven't seen him again. And
You haven't seen
the guy who said that's that
That
shit.
shit?
No, I don't know if I got set up or whatever it was. But he said it with such passion.
Yeah.
I was like, done. I wanted a New York group. Alcoholics was starting to really make some noise at
Yeah.
this time.
Uh-huh. Alcoholics put out the 21 and Over album back in 1993.
Early 93.
Early
Yeah.
93.
Yeah.
Put your headphones on because I want you to hear the music we're playing while you talk. We're making you a movie right now. You're
Hell
not even
yeah,
heard it.
cinematic, brother.
Okay? Yeah, okay.
And then, RZA, we start talking, and he says, "I'll do the deal with you, but these guys got to shop their solo deals."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right. I was managing New Edition in the 85, 86 for the Any Heartbreak album. And I was like, you know what? The group is bigger than any solo artist, maybe except for Michael Jackson and the Jacksons.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, no problem, as long as we have the first right. And that's how the deal was done.
And what year was that?
93.
93.
March of 93. The album came out in November of 93.
Celebrating the 25th anniversary of Wu-Tang's 36 Chambers.
I smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor, terrorize the jam like troops in Pakistan, swinging through your town like your neighborhood Spider-Man. So tick tock and keep ticking, while I get you flipping off the shit I'm kicking. The Lone Ranger, co-ed, danger.
Wu-Tang Clan has had its share of issues, throughout their career. In terms of people moving in different directions, I these stories of RZA being sued and folks aren't being happy. They're a brotherhood, so whatever that business is, because I know them so well, I'm not one of those guys that try to exploit that stuff. So plenty of times, and a few of those guys will tell you, I wouldn't bring up information I knew in front of a camera or in front of a microphone. It's bigger than that for me. What was it like with them back then for you though on Loud Records?
To this day, I still think they were probably one of the easiest groups I ever had to deal with.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we were all hungry. I mean, it was about survival.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I told the story yesterday. It's like, remember Jack the Rapper, the convention?
Yeah.
Like, we were doing our first big showcase. We had the Alcoholics and Wu.
Mm-hmm.
And they missed their flight. They still got there before me.
Wow.
And I'm like, how the fuck did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
But it was about survival. I mean, and me and RZA, God blessed us where to this day we still talk 3 days a week, 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm. People, when you said Alcoholics, I don't know if everybody know who the Alcoholics are.
E. Swift, J-Ro,
Mm-hmm.
and Tash.
And Tash.
I'm a target, not a fog. I stumble runs and don't do stunts. I got soul power, never took a cold shower, never had a girlfriend the color of cooking flour. You can call me sleazy cause my rhymes are kinda greasy. So brothers wear curls cause it ain't easy being peasy like a kung fu flick. I stick you in the dick with my toothpick, tell them Rick.
Alcoholics, one of the most celebrated groups ever in my opinion, especially that came from the West Coast.
Yeah, they were just voted like top 5 West Coast groups of all time.
Yeah. They de-regionalized rap because back then rap business and rap music was kind of regionalized. So, you had the West Coast, East Coast bullshit, in the South and all these barriers and war. I don't know if the press did that or why it became like, or we just didn't have the access to bring everything together. But you had sounds that were regionalized, and Alcoholics created a sound that kind of got rid of all of that, right?
100%.
Is that is that one of the reasons why you signed them, or?
I mean, if you listen to the drums,
Yeah.
I mean, and just their metaphors were just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were signed. I didn't think, I wasn't thinking West Coast, East Coast. I was thinking, you know what? I could hear this record today, 25 years later.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Now, this is one of my favorite records of all time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and launch up. Let's blow up the spot, show 'em what we got for the 90 flow shot. I'm the brown bomber, dropping verbal studs. I write rhymes while my mama peel the skin off the spuds.
Another group that you work with, and I remember by that time, the Wake Up Show, we became syndicated. So we were in, I don't remember how many, we were in 5 countries and 29 markets across the United States. And one of those markets was L.A., and at that time was the station 92.3 The Beat. So you had King M's and Mike Nardone had the joint, Julio G and Easy E. They had West Side Radio, Ruthless Radio. They were doing West Side Radio as well. But Ruthless Radio used to come on before our show, the Wake Up Show. And I remember Easy E and Julio telling us about this group, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
That was Easy's group. But when I sold Loud to Sony, and Easy passed, I inherited them.
Okay.
But I can't really.
You can't take credit for that.
No, I could take credit for Crazy Bone's solo record, but at the end of the day, that's all Easy.
Yeah.
And Tamika, and I mean, they did just an amazing job with that.
But the fact that when Bone came out, I'm trying to see what's.
I was promoting the record.
You were promoting it.
Yeah. And I remember it was a Friday night. Me and Mojo came through, and it was just like,
Mojo. What's up with Oh, shit. What's up with Mojo?
Mojo's great. He has 2 kids. He's happy.
Oh, my gosh. Mojo was the hardest dude in the music business, man. You could catch one from Mojo, man.
If you caught Mojo on a bad day, I felt bad for you.
But he was the most loving and loyal person you could ever want to meet, man. Tell him I said what's up.
100%.
But Bone kind of did the same. People weren't fucking with Bone initially, and I remember Easy Access to play. Man, can you play it, man? Nobody's going to play it. And we played this song right here, matter of fact.
It's the Thuggish Ruggers Bone. It's the Thuggish Ruggers Bone. It's the Thuggish Ruggers Bone.
We could go through MOP, 3-6 Mafia. Yo, how did you come across 3-6 Mafia?
When Master P started blowing up,
okay,
I decided I was going to get on a bus and do the whole South. And I didn't understand. I understood the movement, but I didn't understand how it happened so quick.
Yeah.
So I went on a bus, and I was gone for 2 months. Left my family. And you know me. I went into every nook, whatever. And everybody just started talking about these guys out of Memphis. And that's ended up being 3-6 Mafia.
I love how Wonder's doing.
Hell yeah.
Project Pat.
Well, that's Juicy's brother.
Yeah.
Chickenhead.
And so it just made sense. This is all, I'm naming all of these historical groups.
The Exhibit.
We see on Empire every week now. Pimp My Ride Exhibit. Rockin' with Dre Exhibit. This song right here, Paparazzi,
first
right
single.
here.
This was the first single.
This the one that set it off for him.
Probably one of the first beats I ever wrote to.
Really?
Swear to God.
Sometimes I wonder if it's all worth my while. Exhibit stay versatile with $1 million lifestyle. And I can feel it as a child growing up. The niggas that was real and the niggas that was scared as fuck. That's why Exhibit only roll with a chosen few. You ain't really real, I can tell when I look at you. So ease off the trigger talk, you ain't killing shit, it's not affecting me. Or the niggas that I'm chilling with.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I know Dead Prez came a little later. And I used to love Dead Prez,
Me too.
I
still do.
Still love them. They made some of, this is probably one of my all-time favorite records
100%.
ever made right here is Dead Prez. And the messaging in the music, it's always been so hip-hop. One of the most important voices came from this group, Dead Prez, that hip-hop has ever seen. I put them in the same lineage as Public Enemy, KRS-One, Boots Riley with the Cool, NWA, the same thing. There was also an artist that came out of the Bronx who arguably, one of the best lyrical technicians that ever lived. One of the first time we really had to understand what Puerto Rican culture was all about. Goes by the name of Big Pun, celebrating the 20th anniversary of capital punishment. Steve Rifkind made this available to the world. Check this out.
What you thought punk shit was sweet, now you can't sleep. Gotta keep your eyes open wide and hide your face from the streets. I'm like the beast with a warrant, far from a Norman. Gave you fair warning, now you wanna stand squalling.
We used to bring Pun to Cali. One of the things you did that was really interesting, even I'm gonna go back to Wu-Tang Clan. I remember we used to sit down and talk, how can we really blow them up in California, because KML was so important. We were the guys leading the hip hop surge there. I remember Tech came up with an idea of, man, you should just have them move to the Bay and have them live in the Bay. And Wu-Tang
Until the cops came.
But we had all the Wu-Tang Clan living in the Bay Area for a long time, and Big Pun spent a lot of time coming to the Bay too. And I remember having Pun and Joe come and do shows for us and bless the stage. And I remember we did a first radio broadcast with Marley Marl, was in New York, and then we had Sway and Tech on the West Coast. And I flew to New York, and Pun was there, the first ever simulcast broadcast between two major radio stations. And Big Pun came and sat on a chair and just started spitting flames. We're celebrating 25 years of Loud Records. I just wanted to put things in perspective, because in that same lineage of finding just incredible artists that make impact in this culture, the legacy it continues. And back in 2016, we had an artist come up to our show and pretty much smashed it. And the way this guy came to the show is Fred the Godson, a good friend of mine, who calls me all the time. We hang out. We have regular conversation. For the first time, asked me, Sway, I got an artist I think you want to hear. And I was like, hey, Fred, don't do this. This might ruin our relationship, bro. I straight up told him. He said, nah, I want to put him in a cypher. He was nervous saying this shit to me. I said, I swear on everything I love, if this dude is fucking whack, bro, I will never trust your word again, because I get that all the time. And the dude came up here, and he started spitting bars like this. Axel Leon, front and center, baby. Oh, Big Crit on the beat.
Look at the game is easy. Look at the way they treat beats. These niggas saying nothing but they gas them like BP. It's just me, my round book, my pen. I be 3 deep. You ain't hard, you fake. A hard copy. CD, crack 'em off GP. Drag 'em in the back of the station wagon while backing up in traffic like BP. Start driving around to the other side of the town. Find a park with a shallow pound. Watch them drowning like 3 feet. Don't you dare struggle. I grit the back of your neck till you start to see air bubbles. Nightlight, he's in a deep sleep. Put him back in the wagon. This time in a garbage bag. Too expensive to body bag on Lee Town. Drop him in DC.
Roll up. Welcome him to the show.
That was Doomsday.
Yeah, that was Doomsday back in 2016, but we had him up way before that even. And set it off for him, the one and only Axel Leon.
Swag.
The new signee.
What's up? What's going on?
With Steve Rifkind and Loud Records, man. Congratulations.
Woo!
Man. Hey.
Honored.
Wow.
Honored. This shit crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to put things in perspective for you, too. I know you know these things, but it's different when you hear from somebody that was there. What this man has done is really built one of these legs, that's part of the pillars that hold up this business of hip-hop. But he did it from being in love with the culture of hip-hop. Most people do it being in love with business and don't really give a fuck about the culture. Right. So for him to make you his newest signee, it gives you kind of,
It's crazy. There's a lot of pressure, but not really. If we're from back in the days, it's an honor more or less. Yeah. Because it's like it comes back to it's not because he's here. Because it sounds like if Puff was here, it's not like that. But the only kind of rap that I grew up to, that I really fuck with, that everybody wanted to be TS, everybody wanted to be Wu, everybody, and it just became past tense. That shit didn't exist no more and whatever. Then on the way back, I get to pop it off as,
wow,
I don't know what to do.
Wow,
it's crazy.
That's
I know what to do, but I don't know how to feel. It's crazy.
And he's so different now. When he first came up here, he was just salivating at the mouth, Steve. I'm telling you, man, the dude didn't have a matching outfit on. He probably
I won't even go about the other day.
He killed me the other day, right? Because look, I live far. I live like by Philly. I live, like in Trenton, New Jersey. So these guys have this thing, like my man, this man Steve and them. I think they imagine me around here, so it'd be 5 o'clock. They'd be like, all right, 7 studio. I don't be like, I live all the way. I be there at 7 studio.
Okay.
So when I get up and I start to rush and poof, the big race to be here at 2 o'clock, to be here in 2 hours start. I was just in the studio with my producer finishing mixing my new joint, and I had some Adidas pants. And I was like, man, I can't go with those sneakers. I just had a brand new pair of like white Nikes. I put them on. I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
It's against the rules.
Yeah, Nike and Adidas?
No, but you can't even wear MLB hats with football jerseys.
Okay.
And not even if they match. So I run. I know that it's wrong, but I'm like, nobody. I'm only on it. If I see you, I'll be like, yo, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I said, nobody's like me. I'm chilling. Steve goes, yo, I love your pants, man. They look nice. Don't ever wear that shit with a pair uptown. I was like, you had no idea. I don't even do that shit.
Wow.
Funny. It's funny.
So, the first time you came on this show, was that your first big radio spit, or you had done something?
No, that was the first. Fred kind of got me. He got me like back in the mix because I went through like a little downstage and I ain't gonna rap no more. Then I met my producer. Then Fred seen this video. He was like, nah, I knew Fred for about 10 years prior to that, but he wasn't gonna risk anything. So he saw that I wanted it. He was like, yo, you want to do Sway? I'm like, man, shut up. And then he screenshotted what you said back, and I was like, when? And he told me. So I wasn't even prepared. It was like one day before. So I just took like something that I was going to do on something else. I came up and did it, and it kind of got me back ringing because after you, I did Flex.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did Flex again.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did Sway again.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did Sway again. I did Sway, Flex, enough. Everything I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
BET Awards.
Mm-hmm. And that's where
Steve
you saw
Rifkind.
him, right?
Well, I saw him. Gabi brought him.
Okay.
Vince's story too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in with a ponytail and he starts counting 100 backwards.
Oh,
And
you did that
we
right?
got 2 stories
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
it's funny. No, I gotta tell it because it happened with Sway too. What happened is, I back like when I was like, I didn't know like the concept of music or songs. I was really young. I was about 13, and Gabi brought me to the office. Pun already passed. Everything. I was like, oh shit, I'm here. The loud record thing, and he was like, yo, rap, and I had like 100 to 1, but like mad amateur. It was just always a cool idea.
Yeah.
So then Steve said when he starts cleaning his office, he don't like the person,
Like,
right?
get him the fuck
but
out.
I didn't know this. So like not even halfway, probably about 20 numbers in.
They're cleaning his office.
But I didn't know. I'm just I'm rapping, trying to follow him, like trying to like is he listening, right? And then us as little kids, you leave, you like, yo, so what did Steve say? Do we like every day? We got a deal? Yo, man, he's gonna holler. But all that he's gonna holler, that shit was always kind of like true because it was always the best spin. Like he'll holler, all the way till you don't ask no more, right? So they told me about 5 years later, they was like, yo, Steve thought you was probably one of the worst rappers you ever heard of that. I was like, no. They was like, we couldn't tell you because you was mad sensitive. You probably would have quit rap. I was like, but that's a lie. So anyway, fast forward, BET Awards, we go out and Jim Jones is, shout out Jim Jones, a good friend of mine. I met him through Jimbo and the Gram, whatever. We became good friends, and then he was like, yo, Steve already saw it. Like I got a standing ovation at the awards, so we go to the hallway. I remember Steve, duh. And then Jim was like, yo, you gotta sign him. You don't know Axe? And Steve was like, yeah? Yeah. And I'm like, Jim Jones has no idea this guy hates me. Like, I was like, so I'm there like, I'm like, yeah, like together, like we both like faking it. I go to the bathroom, but this time it was like kind of real. But I didn't know. I was like, Jim Jones has no idea he's about to get curved by Steve. So I leave, and then granted, we come back to New York, and Gabi gives us a phone call, says Steve want to meet with me and Jimbo in the history.
Wow, man. Hey, man, Axel Leon, man. It's another story right here, Heather B. We talk about it, Steve Rifkind. I got to take a few callers, and I want to ask you a couple more questions, all right? We got Madison from L.A. on the line. What up, Madison?
Hey, Madison.
Oh, shit, I didn't hit the... Madison, good morning. I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. Good morning. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, man. I just had like a history lesson this morning. I was supposed to get my day started, and I had to sit in the car and listen to this. So I just wanted to say thank you. I have sound check going on right now, and it sounds like Mr. Rifkind, you've touched on everything as far as hip hop goes. especially with 3-6 Mafia. That's like one of my favorite groups of all time, man.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the history lesson this morning, and everybody have a blessed day.
You too,
You
man.
too. Have a
Appreciate
great
you, a
weekend.
citizen, man.
Great
Tony
morning,
from
homie.
Compton. What up, Tony?
Tick.
Hey, what's up, Sway? How y'all doing?
What's poppin' with you?
BBOQ. Hey, I just want to tell Mr. Rifkind that he's been a staple throughout this culture, and I've been following him pretty much ever since he started. I want to say, God willing that, your health continues with your heart attack and all that, but Sway, you didn't even know that his dad has a legacy, too, that he discovered James Brown, and it's some sort of a DVD or documentary out there about Steve and that I watched recently that, really puts him on a platform. So I just want to say thank you for upholding the culture, and your ear is tremendous for the industry.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, no, I knew that part of the culture, but that's another hour. That's why I was so honored to meet his dad. Spox from North Carolina, you got a question?
What's poppin'?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Rifkind, man, I just wanted to say, man, like the other dude said, man, you definitely been a staple in this culture, man. And I just wanted to ask one question. Was Buckshot Shorty on Loud, too?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You got another question? You got another question? Duck down.
That was Duck Down.
Duck down.
That was Duck Down.
He's on his own label.
That was his label, right?
Yeah, he's on his own label.
Shout out to Drew Hub.
You got another question?
Follow up.
One more question is, what do you think is the age limit for the rappers that's out now?
There's no age limit anymore.
It's art.
No age limit.
If you spit, you spit.
And if you're good, they'll come to you. What is your plan of approach now? The game is different now. So how have you adjusted? Like with Axel, for example.
I feel, 25 years from now, I might not be here, but my son will be here.
Uh-huh.
And they'll be here together. It's just like I'm still going to make music, not for today. I'm making it for tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. And then in terms of, like, we talked about how you had to promote, you had the mix show guy, you had a college guy, you had a street team. How do you strategically get him out there now? What are your plans in terms of the streaming sites and social and?
I'm going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But I can only do what I know how to do, and I can only be true to myself, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm here talking to you, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna hit the road. I can only do what I know how to do.
Okay. Hit the road. Axel, you got a new song too called Jungle.
Jungle.
All right, and you want us to play that?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Jungle's off Richport 3. There's my new mixtape coming out on my birthday, June 8th. I don't know if it's confirmed, but it's lit.
Confirmed.
June 8th. Okay, June 8th. Okay, well.
Yes, sir. Jungle.
We'll play that after you earn it. You know what to do when we come
Whoa,
here.
whoa,
Sway in the
whoa,
morning.
whoa,
Shade
whoa.
4-5. Let's get to it, baby. Come on.
You are now entering the 5 fingers of death.
DJ Wonder plays 5 unique beats meant to test your lyrical stamina.
888-742-3345.
Many have tried.
You want to talk with Axel Leon?
Just another chance for me to prove it.
But many have
Welcome to the 5 Fingers of Death.
It's the 5 fingers of death.
He's been doing this for years. You got it, man. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5.
Death.
Axel Leon, one of the illest that's doing it right now. Now Records.
No more playing Mr. Nice Nigga. Last nigga got so nervous that he brung his wife in. Pussy ass nigga fuck around, letting wifey hit him. Could've run, but he should've had his Nikes with him. Been war ready, roll heavy when we roll out. He told me dress warm, this winter gonna be cold out. My neighbors don't like me, they be chilling with their phones out. 12 on speed out, it's cool, I bought the chrome out. I bought it back home, you ain't know I got a crazy deal. I was in the field trapping, hustling for baby milk. Now I'm on the road, blowing budgets on the sweater. I got a newborn and ain't a thing I couldn't gutter. Got these niggas on my dick now, all premeditated. Fuck my dead haters, cause to them niggas I never made it. Fuck you if I dated you, fuck you if we never dated. Fuck you if you hesitated, Houdini I elevated. I was 18, dreaming I was in a mansion. I was 2018, on that title with an Aston. When mama died, I died with her. I don't give a fuck, dog. If I ain't give a fuck before, now I don't give a fuck more. The lions out the cage, what's the uproar? They tell me chill, tell them what the fuck for. Fall back and bust off, I'm running for the touchdown. Window with ya, hit him with the stiff arm. This for hurting Victor, you victim till I'm Victor. About me till it isn't me, Puffy bigger victory. Pass it to Pass it till it get to me. Roy to my circle to the death of me. Don't be mad at me, be mad at destiny. Everything was destined. I plotted this a year ago. I told you they would fear me, but y'all niggas ain't hear me though. King of this rap shit. Kickbox you out there ring with that whack shit. Don't wanna hear a thing but that action. How we ain't relatable. I probably know a nigga you related to. I slept in the bookings for a day or two. I got 2 baby mamas. One who lost her sister and her brothers to this violence. Now she violent, she be faded too. My heart got broken by these hoes from the bottom. My sneakers had holes in the bottom. My socks ain't matched. My pops came back. Psych, they could keep them. I don't know shit about them. How the fuck we ain't relatable? Like I ain't go to school cause I hated to. Like I ain't hard for I made it through. Like I ain't duck bullets. Like I ain't get caught up in the club with the ER saying living was debatable. Like if I ain't a train wreck. Like I ain't thinking jumping on the train tracks. Like I ain't lose it all before I came back. I'm too relatable. All designer in the coupe. The gator boots. You fool niggas stew. Tomato soup. I'm finally eating. Whole team, yeah, we finally eating. My girl account all green like I found me a vegan. Please, before my lord. Man, fuck this. I think I did it. I think I did it. You set me up, man. That was a fucking setup, man.
That boy's sick, yo.
What the fuck?
Fuck, man.
Yo, Axel Leon, ladies and gentlemen. 5 fingers of death.
Can I do like an outkick? Like these VVs got me chilly. Sitting on around half a milli. I'm good, I smoke wood. She don't gotta pass the Philly. Low trucks, filling with real drugs to smash the city. I came up, even Meek Mill judge said, that's a Willie. Big Willie, what you think, silly? Y'all won't jump, y'all all front like big titties. All front, yeah, you losing that bad. Next to my lines, y'all all behind like a stupid fat ass. I'm sick, really. Slim Biggie, they labeled the kid. I'm what big would it been? They would have put him in a operating table and lived. This place too small for my table to fit. My family's big, plus I need space for the label to sit. I said I always sold drugs on the low though. Sold grams, but not enough to blow though. That's when I grabbed a baking soda, and I instantly blew when I threw the baking soda on the gram like a photo. I blew by selling nickels on the curb, my nigga. For those who thought I blew behind the bird like Twitter. You know how the color blues behind the Twitter bird? Yeah. I'm the best. I gotta say it to these niggas first. They don't like it when they say that I'm the best. They say I'm tripping. Well, I must have tripped and landed on the Jiggaverse. They ain't survived, but he took a try. Told him don't be looking live on my block, boy. Now he don't look alive.
Ooh.
Damn.
Man, forget it. Yo, actually, yo!
Wow.
Juice. Yo. Steve Rifkind.
Quit your dick. Quit.
Sway.
Yo.
Wow.
Quit rapping, whack rappers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Axel Leon, ladies and gentlemen. Man. 5 fingers
Rich Port 3. Rich Port 3 coming out, man. You know, I can rap up here for 6-8 minutes. It ain't about that. It's about the legacy and the honor of me trying to carry that joint.
Nah, you got it, man.
R.I.P. Big Pun.
You got the flag.
Yeah. But yo, you
wow.
This signee for you, this is definitely a great new beginning for Loud Records.
100%.
There ain't another rapper out there that's gonna keep people more entertained.
Juice.
And I'll put that on anything. It's a lot of great rappers out there that we surround ourselves with, as we always done that, you know. And he's one of them, and I can't wait to see what you guys do together. Phone's lit up right now. Don, what you want to say, man?
Don.
Hey, yo, what's going on, Sway? What's going on, Heather? How y'all doing this morning, everybody?
What's good with you?
Yeah, what's up, Don?
Yo, get this, man. That line you said, you probably know a nigga you related to. That shit is hot, because, you know my cousin, Sean Pecaz.
Shout out Sean Pecaz.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sir. Sean Pecaz is
Go
family,
ahead.
man.
Right.
What you think of Axel, bro?
So, Axel's the truth, man. He been the truth, man. Something that I won't believe, man. You know what I'm saying? Drew, man, everything. He talking about that 100 to 1. Oh, man. That was bananas.
That was bananas, man. Hey, Don, thanks for your call. You're a citizen, man.
Wait a minute, homie.
Steve, man, I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you,
and it's an honor to call you my friend, brother. And I'll let King Tech know everything
Tell
is
my
good.
son love.
Oh, absolutely, man. I definitely will to you and your family, man. You know we always in your corner.
I appreciate it.
Axel, you already
You're
know.
the man.
Come on, man.
Man. This shit is magical. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
See how it comes back and it comes back
full
around?
circle. Oh,
man, with the big homie.
Man,
that's crazy.
That's divine intervention.
Yeah,
that's that divine energy keeping us all connected.
And that's that hard work. I hate complainers. This shout out to everybody that how to make it. Like Pun said back there, there's no secret. You go hard and you pray to God. There's no other thing.
That's it.
Go hard. Stop talking to people. Stop telling them that they should do something for you. You do it.
Do it for yourself.
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Yes,
You want to reach Axel Leon? How can they reach you, bro?
Axel Leon, all social media. So it's AXELLEON. It's like I'm in front of it, but I'm kind of lit, so you could get it with that.
There it is, man.
They verified me.
You got your check. Steve, thank you, man. Thank you again, man.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.